Welcome back, my fellow agents. It is I, X7, your host of Zenorama, the podcast of heroes and monsters. Yes, normally I would have Zenorama put on there, but this is just a really busy poster. So that's what we get today. We are going to be talking about two different movies, short theatricals from Japan. The Comin Atcha, Comin Atcha from Android Kikaida, or Jinzo Ningen Kikaida, and then Goranger versus JAKQ, or JAKQ versus Goranger. Take your pick. JAKQ was the title, but Goranger was way more popular at the time. And these are just short movies. Svengoolie did air Horror of Dracula tonight, or last night, as the case may be. And I'm just not sure what I could bring to the table about that movie. Maybe next 2 years when he airs it again, we'll talk about it. But it's a great movie. Having said all that, please like, share, subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about Kikaider, or JAKQ, Goranger, the first two Sentai movies, or the first two Sentai shows that made the whole genre, made Power Rangers possible, and is generally better than all of the US versions. So, but having said all that, switch on. Let's go. All right, so our first 3D featurette. It is in 3D, and it's 3D. Whew. Is Kikaida Comin Atcha from 1973, March 17th, and takes place between episodes 31 and 32. Obviously, you can read this. This is from the DVD set that JNP and Generation Kikaida put out in the, I want to say, not early, but it's probably been a good 15 years ago. It's been a minute since I've actually looked at when they took it out. Media and home video. 2003, 2004. So all of the DVDs are now out of print. The Generation Kikaida closed in 2023. Now, Discotech has put out the show Kikaider. They call it Kikaider, with an ER at the end instead of Kikaida, which is the Hawaiian preferred version. They said loads of extras included on the set. I haven't gotten through that yet. This one came from the DVD set. This version did. So they go into the song, which we just heard bits of right there, at least the karaoke version. And then we start out with Professor Gill saying that Dark is going to annihilate Japan's 5 major cities. And then he talks right to the audience, where you live. And the kids allegedly tell him he's no match. And then that's the last we hear of that. Well, sort of. It does break the fourth wall a couple of times, which, as you know, I do enjoy if used sparingly. And this is the MacGuffin of the plot, the almighty device. And this is the woman who has the key to it, or the young lady, Yuka Akizuki. They're in a park where these are all mechanicals, which is probably better for the animals. But there's a hippo, and that's generally for Lilith. There's the key. And here's our new Destructoid, malted sand gecko. Not malted like malted milk balls, but malted. Well, anyway. And he tells the audience things are about to get exciting. So this is how they introduce the 3D part. And then they get this right before you put on the glasses. So the whole movie isn't in 3D, just bits and pieces. And there we see it. He fights it. But every time this is what happens. I cut out all of these because we don't need the repetition, right? Gecko kills her brother or boyfriend Hiroshi, and she's there at the sand dunes. And then Dark flies over. Somehow Dark has plenty of money to get planes and just do all sorts of things. It's never explained, really. This is a hotel. I mean, I have said this many times, and one of the wonderful things about these early Kamen Rider and Kikaida and Tokusatsu shows from Toei is that, and even Ultraman, is that they go all around Japan, and it's like this little time capsule of what Japan looked like back then. Apparently, this bus was not taken over by the Dark because the kids got off. Komioji's kids got off just fine. So let's see, Mitsuko and Masaru, and off they go. We don't even know why they're there. There's Komioji himself. He's still suffering from amnesia, obviously. And there's Hattori Hanpei, or Hanpen as they call him. Hanpen is a fish dish, so it's kind of insulting, but by now he's one of their staunch allies. We will be reviewing Kikaida the series because it's probably my favorite of the Toei Tokusatsu shows, although I really do like Kamen Rider Stronger. But Hanpen! They rescue Yuka, and then the Dark shows up. But guess who shows up there? Jiro himself. And change! And now we get another 3D sequence, which is, the DVD includes 3D glasses. Now, I don't know if the Blu-ray has this movie on it. I'll let you know. We're going to do a comparison at some point in time. And both of them are injured. Jiro, Komioji remembers, his hands remember all of their work. And then he realizes what's going on, but he still leaves. And that's the last we see of Komioji. So, and then Professor Gill tells what the almighty device is. It's not the almighty Bobby Lashley, though. But it'll regenerate all of the former Destructoids, Fallen Brothers, which they're going to call Resurrectoids, which I think is pretty cool. I don't know if August thought of that, but if he did, kudos. It's a great title. Destructoid is being used in the Blu-ray version as well. But I don't think they have the movie. There's Hanpei in drag. He missed Komioji coming in and fixing Jiro. Yeah, Resurrectoids. That's a great name. So you see all of them. There's 20 of them, plus the Gecko, who makes 21. Oh, 21. Well, I don't know. There's Blue's Kong, Bull Kong. Although I think it should have been Blue Bulldog, but they say Kong, and you can hear the word Kong in Japanese. So he doesn't look like an ape or a Kong. He looks like a bulldog, doesn't he? And he's got a collar on. He looks like a bulldog. Of course, Sangekko is changing his form and shows up. But the fight begins. And once again, 3D sequence. The movie runs 33-ish minutes, I want to say. This was released in Hawaii. Kikaida, the Kikaida brothers, Kikaida and 01, were hugely popular. They were made about almost 100 episodes that they could watch all at once. But they even brought Ban Daisuke over there for some appearances, and this was in about 74. And they had a ton of the Japanese shows over there. And another company tried to do it the same thing with Ultra 7, but dubbed it into English, which is considered a lost dub now. It's not very good. It's very faithful, but it's not very good. The actors, I'm sorry, it's just not very good. So Jiro uses the Denji end, the magnet end, to destroy the Gecko, but he gets revived because of the almighty device. So now we find more, and then they see that Dr. Komioji had invented this thing, Kill Me. So I love this. I don't even know where this is, but it looks great. The whistle gets blown. The whistle from Professor Gill tries to bring Jiro back to the dark, but every time there's a loud noise, it blocks the sound, so Komioji pushes it over. Somehow he instinctively knows. And then we get our final battle here. Butcher him! And here we go. So all of the as we've talked about in the Kamen Rider movies, the first two or three, yeah, that all of the resurrected monsters or kaijin or destructoids or resurrectoids are easy prey. They just get blown up super easily. I mean, he knocks them all down in a row and they blow up. So it happens a lot. But I mean, our main hero, our main villain, Destructoid, does not. So he beats him one last time. We get the 3D effect. Hanpei reminds Kikaida of the ninja magic because he's related to the Iga Ninja, which are a very famous ninja clan. And he gives him the giant swing, and once more the Denji end, he blows up, and they'll never come back again, and they explode the dark base. And 20. Okay, there's 21 total, right? All right, and that is the end. So it's a fun little show. I mean, it's a fun little movie, and we're going to go right into, well, there's a promo piece where they shake hands because Kamen Rider, the original series, was still going strong. It ran 98. This one, Kikaida only ran 43, plus a movie. 01 actually ran 46, the sequel. But our next show, or our next movie is, when did this one come out? Let me look here. Come on. They're not even telling you. Really? Lamos? I had to look it up to find out some of the things, but it doesn't say when it was released. The rat bastards. Oh, okay. March 18th, 1978, which is, of course, whoops, it's not Generation Kikaida, but it is this. This says Goranger versus JAKQ. Yeah. So this was the actual finish to the movie, or to the series, because it never did have an ending. JAKQ was an attempt to follow up with Goranger, which was intensely popular, ran 84 episodes, but it just wasn't, it only ran 35, but it was too different. They had 4 members, different powers. It was more serious, and it just wasn't, it didn't live up to the predecessor. I think it's really good because the first, I don't know, until Big One shows up, yeah, we'll talk about him. It was really serious, and it's quite good. I think it's very enjoyable. So there's our team. Big One has shown up. That's Bamba Sokichi, played by Hiroshi Miyauchi, who also is Blue Ranger in Goranger. Let me find out for sure here. We'll look really quickly. Rangers, the Go Rangers. Come on, get out of my way, you stupid Rangers. Blue Ranger, Owl Ranger. So he actually teams up with himself in this movie. You don't see the Go Rangers except for Peggy in human form in their civilian disguises. There's the Sky Ace following the UFO, and crime has returned, and they're going to take over not only the world but the universe. So they're trying to figure out what's going on, and this is where they kind of tie in, make a Shotaro verse or a Shinomori verse. Take your pick. He was the creator of many of these, both Kikaida, Kamen Rider, and all of the Super Sentai are based on his ideas. But Go Rangers fighting in the Sahara Desert. B3 is fighting in, but they don't talk about X Rider or the first two Kamen Rider, Ichigo and Nigo, 1 and 2, and then Kikaider's in Mongolia. So and of course Amazon is in Amazon. A lot of these have been released on Blu-ray, are going to be released on Blu-ray, except for these Sentai shows because they're owned by a different person who doesn't seem to want to intrude upon Power Ranger stuff. So there's our villains. And they want to send JAKQ to hell. JAKQ is how they say it in Japanese. And the whole thing is the flying saucer hydrogen bomb. So And there's a mysterious woman all dressed in leather. While uh, JAKQ there is Karen Mizuki, and Goro as Spade Ace, Heart Queen, and that turns out to be Peggy Matsu. Well, we'll see here in a minute, but they don't recognize her until she shows her the ID. Matsuyama, and that is Momo Ranger. She's the only Goranger who shows up in her civilian identity in black leather. So maybe she's the first Black Ranger because they haven't had one yet. But so they're trying to figure things out, and there is Hamster Kun, who is a cybernetic hamster who talks in Japanese. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea, but I'm not a kid. I would have loved this probably as a in 19. Yes, there's no question I would have been watching this. So they're off they go. So there's our mat scene. I just concluded that, and the villains who that's their plan. Japan is going to be last after they conquer all of the others, all these European countries and China. The whole solar system. That doesn't make even any sense. There's no. So Peggy's turned into Momo Ranger, so we don't see her civilian identity anymore. And they're there. Now, JAKQ had to use a transformation capsule, which is weird, but it works. And then the Veridine shows up, which is their hovercraft, and the Goranger are there. Now this came from Grown Ups in Spandex. Now most people are putting the both. It's Go Ranger with an E, but all together. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. They're all teaming up, but there's only 9 of them. 7, 8, 9, because one of them's missing. Banba, Sokichi. So off the fight goes, and we get to see them use a lot of not too many of them, but there's Key Ranger, and I think I don't even know which one he is off the top of my head. Clover King. And Heart Queen, of course. So they all beat him up, but then they combine Big 4 Robot. And the Go Ranger Hurricane doesn't work. He just eats it. They try this was their original attack, which I don't know that they've done for several, in the last 10 or 15 episodes. And then our, Banba shows up along with the Joker. But then Hiroshi Miyoshi is really underrated. Sokichi Banba he's a dapper, man, but he knows what he's doing. And he's just charismatic. The charisma oozes out of him. Big one! So they combine forces. Big Bomber and the Go Ranger Hurricane, and it just, blows up the robot monster pretty good. They explode, but fortunately, when Banba Sokichi grabbed the claw, he switched it, and then it blows up. Well, see, he's got the real one, and it's got a remote on it, and Iron Claw thinks he's doing just fine, but then it blows up his spaceship. But that's the end. So crime is done. Everyone's happy. Bye-bye crime. And that's it. So that is our show for today. And tomorrow, of course, is not... Yes, tomorrow is Monday, and that will be the next 3 episodes of the Avengers United They Stand. And having said all that, I hope you've liked, shared, subscribed, and watched the whole thing. And until our next assignment, this is X7 signing off and phasing out.
球制覇の野望に狂うギルは恐るべき秘密兵器オールマイティ装置を完成させ、キカイダーを倒すべく次々と破壊部隊を送った。一方、父光明寺博士を探してさまよう美津子と勝。そしてその二人を見守っていたのは赤いギターの青年次郎であった。チェンジスイッチオン、ワン、ツー、スリー、トー。
電流火花体を走るジローチェンジ機械だ。